There was an oversized shoe. Mother Hubbard lived there. There was also a tower called Jack and Jill Daycare Center. Farmer in the Dell lived in a beautiful house. In Mother Goose Town, the grass was always green. This is where I introduce my crime scene. Sunny Goose received a call from Jack Hill around 8 a.m. It was about Jack and Jill. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and his sister Jill and his crown had disappeared. Sunny hustled to the hill on her goose. Sure enough, Jill and Jack's crown had disappeared. This is where I introduce my detective. Sunny Goose is my detective. She is always on the go. She never forgets her notebook or magnifying glass. Sunny is the daughter of Mother Goose. Mother Goose is the mayor of Mother Gooseland. Sunny has yellow hair that matches the sun. She also has blue sparkling eyes. She is a hard-working detective and always solves a case no matter what. This is where I introduce my suspects and who they are and why they are suspects. And Chicken Little is a suspect because he was running around the hill over and over again. He could have stolen Jack's crown since he was so close to them. And the three pigs were jumping higher in their backyard on the trampoline. Were they squealing and jumping with excitement that they have stolen the crown? Jill Hill is also a suspect because she has always been jealous of Jack's crown ever since he had won it. The giant is a suspect because he could have taken Jack's crown while he was shaking the ground up in his castle. This is where I introduce my first witness. Jack Horner is my first witness since he has such a tall house that he saw Jill and Jack fall down the hill. But that's not all. He also saw Jill take something shiny and golden. After that, she ran into the deep dark woods. Could Jill have taken Jack's crown? This is where I introduce my second witness. Goldilocks is my second witness because she got terrified by the three bears and ran back into Mother Gooseland. As she was running out of the forest, she saw Jill run past her. Goldilocks thought she saw Jill holding something shiny in her hand. Could Jill still have taken Jack's crown? This is where I introduce my third witness. Little Bo Peep is my third witness because she went to Mother Gooseland to find her lost sheep. Somebody ran past her faster than a blink of an eye. It could have been Jill Hill, since she's fast at mostly anything you could imagine. This is where I introduce my first clue. Sunny Goose wandered around in the muddy forest. Then she saw a muffin stuck in the mud. It must be Little Red Riding Hood, she yelled to herself, because she told me she was going to deliver muffins to her ill grandmother. This is where I introduce my second clue. Detective Sunny scanned the muffin with her fingerprint detector. This isn't making sense, Sunny yelled to herself. The fingerprint is Jill Hill's, but Jill doesn't have muffins. This is where I introduce my third clue. Little by little, the sky began to darken. Miss Goose saw that there was something pink glowing against the dark. She ran to it. It was a lipstick Sunny gave to Jill for her birthday. Jill Hill, she huffed loudly. But I'm not sure. This is where I introduce my fourth clue. Sunny went on. She took a look at her boots. They were highly muddy, but she kept going. Then Sunny Goose saw a piece of Jill's blue apron in the mud. Sunny took the smooth blue cloth and wandered along. Sunny was starving, so she climbed a tree, ate her apple, and went on. This is where I introduce my fifth clue. A piece of newspaper was soaring through the air. Sunny caught it. It read, "Thanks, Little Red Riding Hood, for letting me have a muffin. Jill Hill." So off Sunny crept to Little Red Riding Hood's house. There, Sunny found Jill eat a muffin with a crown on her head. This is where I introduce my red herring. The giant was one of Sunny Goose's suspects, so she climbed the beanstalk and interviewed him. So she figured out that the giant made all Mother Gooseland shake, didn't even know anything about the case. He was only chasing Jack to get his cute chicken back. The giant made all of Mother Gooseland shake with his running. This is where I introduce my case solved. The case was solved when Sunny Goose found the muffin with Jill's fingerprint. She knew who the suspect was, Jill Hill. Sunny went to Little Red Riding Hood's house and saw Jill eat her last muffin. Jill knew that she was a slow counter for the fastest goose counting contest, so she just stole Jack's crown. Jill got thrown into jail of sadness for 2 months. Jack's Missing Crown by Judith. Mother Gooseland was a place as busy as bees. The town was getting ready for the fastest goose counting contest. Sunny Goose, daughter of Mother Goose, was a detective in downtown Gooseland. Not a far distance away from where Sunny lived, there was a gigantic shoe. Old Mother Hubbard lived there. Also, there was a tower called Jack and Jill Daycare Center. Next door, there was a beautiful house. Farmer Dell lived there. In Mother Gooseland, the grass was always green. There were many other nursery rhyme buildings built in Mother Gooseland. Nobody in Mother Gooseland would be expecting the fastest goose counting contest to be interrupted by a mystery. That morning around 8 a.m., Detective Sunny received a call from Jack. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down, and his sister Jill and his crown had disappeared. Sunny hustled to the hill on her goose. Sure enough, Jill and Jack's crown had disappeared. Later that afternoon, Sunny decided to take a walk in the deep woods. There, Sunny saw a muffin stuck in the mud. It had a ruby in it. Sunny yelled to herself, "It must be Little Red Riding Hood." Sunny went to Little Red Riding Hood's house. Little Red Riding Hood, also known as Red, was home with an empty basket in hand. Ding dong, went Red's doorbell. Little Red Riding Hood opened the door. Sunny asked Little Red Riding Hood if she had the crown. "Of course not," replied Little Red Riding Hood. "Besides, I just finished delivering muffins to Granny. I did see Goldilocks running out of the woods. It looked like she would have been terrified by the bears." Sunny took her notebook out. She wrote, "Goldilocks. What time did you see this?" "Well, I'm not sure. All I know is it happened when the earthquake came," answered Red. So off Sunny hustled to Goldilocks' house. Goldilocks explained that she did get terrified by the 3 bears. "I got tired when I was lost in the woods. I found a cottage, went in, and fell asleep in a little bed. But when I woke up, there were 3 bears staring at me," Goldilocks said with a huffing, terrified voice. "Although I did see a girl with gold in her hand, she was also wearing a blue apron." Sunny only knew one girl with a blue apron, Jill Hill. Why would Jill steal her brother's crown, Sunny wondered. But Sunny still went to interview Jill. On her way, Sunny found a muffin. She scanned the muffin with her fingerprint detector. Beep, went the tiny machine. The fingerprint was Jill's. Unfortunately, when Sunny reached Jill's house, she wasn't home. Then Jill heard someone rustling around in the forest. Jill popped out of the daffodil bushes. To Jill's surprise, Sunny was tapping her foot and looking at Jill angrily. Jill asked, "Is something wrong?" Sunny took a deep breath and answered, "Of course something's wrong. Haven't you heard your brother's tumbled down the hill and lost his crown?" Jill looked worried. "No, I don't." "Are you sure?" Sunny said, raising an eyebrow. "Of course I'm sure. But did you see Jack Horner staring?" Before Jill finished, Sunny had disappeared just like Jack's crown. On Sunny's way to Jack Horner's house, she looked at her boots. They were highly muddy, but she kept going. Then Sunny saw a piece of Jill's blue apron. She put it in her pocket. In a few minutes she arrived at Jack Horner's house. Ding-a-ling went Jack's doorbell. Jack opened the door with his face and hands full of scratches. Did you take Jack Hill's crown? Sunny quizzed with an exhausted voice. No, why would I do such a thing? Jack Horner declared. Well, Jill said, you were staring at them after they fell. How can you explain that? Sunny announced. Well, I was only looking to see if anything happened when the giant was stomping, answered Jack. Do you know why the giant was stomping? Sunny proposed. No idea, he explained. After 20 feet of climbing, Sunny arrived to her destination, the giant's castle. The giant didn't look so joyful. Why were you stomping at 8 a.m.? Sunny asked. I was just getting my chicken back. That darn Jack tried to steal it, answered the giant. Okay, replied Sunny. Did anything else happen? Well, I did see Chicken Little say the sky's falling, the giant explained. I found this beside this beanstalk. The giant was holding a rock with Jill's red glowing lipstick on it. Thanks, Sunny replied. Finally, Sunny reached Chicken Little's hay bale. Chicken Little was collecting hay to make his house big enough for his cousins. Sunny asked Chicken Little if he took Jack's crown. Why, of course not, Chicken Little responded. Why were you running around the hill hollering, the sky's falling, the sky's falling? Sunny implored. The sky was falling, yelled Chicken Little. Sunny explained that the sky didn't fall. Oh, yes, it did. What caused Jack and Jill fall then? Chicken Little asked. The giant, of course, Sunny replied. Oh, then I made a mistake, said Chicken Little. Yes, you did, said Sunny. She also asked if something else happened. Chicken Little explained that the pigs were jumping on their trampoline higher than usual. As always, Sunny rushed to the pig's house. Chicken Little was right. They were jumping higher than usual. First, Sunny thought they were trying to beat each other's trampoline records. Then, Sunny remembered the crime. Maybe they would be excited that they stole the crown. Only one way to find out, Sunny said in her head. She sneaked to their backyard. Oh, piggies, Sunny whispered in a high-pitched voice. All the pigs froze. Sunny strolled to the trampoline and asked if the pig took Jack's crown. No, said the oldest pig. The two younger ones stood behind him. They were both shy. Why were you jumping so high then? Sunny replied. We were bouncing and talking about the earthquake, said the oldest pig. The giant stomping, Sunny corrected the oldest pig. Sunny told the oldest pig that the crown went missing. She also asked him if he took the crown. The pigs answered, no. But he explained that Little Bo Peep, also known as Mrs. Peep, was looking in every corner of Mother Gooseland. The two other pigs nodded. So off Sunny went to Little Bo Peep's house. When Sunny reached Mrs. Peep's house, she had already shaved her sheep. Did you take Jack's crown? Sunny proposed. And why were you wandering around in Mother Gooseland? Mrs. Peep stood up and dusted her dress. I was in Mother Gooseland to find Joe and Mo, she explained. Those naughty sheep didn't want to stay with the rest of the sheep, and I didn't take Jack's crown. Sunny sighed deeply. Who could have taken Jack's crown? She thought. I did see something or someone faster than the blink of an eye, Little Bo Peep replied. I think it was Jill because she's fast at mostly anything you could imagine. Now that Sunny knew the giant was just a red herring, she erased his name off from the suspect list and wrote his name under red herring. Underneath his name, Sunny wrote, Getting chicken back from Jack. Sunny continued walking to Jill's house. On Sunny's way to Jill's house, she found a piece of newspaper soaring through the air. Sunny caught it. The note read, Thanks, Little Red Riding Hood, for letting me have a muffin. Jill Hill. Off Sunny crept to Red's house. There, Sunny saw Jill finish eating a muffin. Sunny entered Red's house. She asked Jill why she took Jack's crown. Unfortunately, Jill was jealous of Jack's crown. For stealing Jack's crown, Jill got put in jail for 1 month.